Hi. Hello, I'm here to check in for the conference.
Awesome. Do you have your QR code with you today?
I do. Here it
You
is.
just scan it underneath our scanner. It'll print out your badge for you, and then you can enter via our entrance.
Okay, let's do this.
There you go. We've also got clipless lanyards here today, so you'll just have to thread that through the holes here, and you're all good to go.
Terrific. Awesome. Thanks very much. Bye. Hello and welcome to a bonus episode of Track Changes. I'm Murray Griffith and I've just spent a couple of days at the Sustainability Business Live event in Melbourne. The event drew thousands of people who work in sustainability, and it had some amazing conference speakers, including Matt Kean, Chair of the Climate Change Authority, who we'll hear from a bit later on. And it also featured a stirring speech from Dr. Matthew Bell, the Global Head of Sustainability Consultancy Anthesis. Today's bonus Track Changes episode is made up mostly of clips when I wandered around the event, asking people a simple question. What is the most important thing you've learnt about sustainability in your career so far? There was a wide range of very interesting answers to that question. And this is what they told me. 3 questions. First two are really easy, just to name the organisation you work for and what it does. And then the third question is, what's the most important thing you've learnt about sustainability in your career so far?
Okay. All right. So my name's Will.
Yep.
I work for Climate Works Centre, who are like an independent research organisation working within Monash University. And they basically sort of research the solutions for decarbonisation for the Australian economy and work with industry and government to roll those out at speed and scale to try to sort of align our net zero goals with the Paris Agreement. And the thing I've learned most about sustainability in my career, I think coming into this, I didn't really feel like there was a whole lot going on based on the media cycle you're exposed to. And it's actually been very encouraging to see all of the kind of work being done behind the scenes, particularly in the business or in the area of business that are sort of, there is actually action being taken. Obviously we need to move a lot faster when it comes to climate and net zero, but is way more happening than I ever thought there was.
We're not handing out awards, Will, but if we were, you would get an award for that answer. It's terrific. Thanks very much.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for doing what you do.
So I'm Claire and I'm from Monash University and I work with the Sustainable Development Education team. So we run professional development and postgraduate education programs to upskill people to be, sustainability practitioners or work in behaviour change, systems change, anything to do with sustainable development. And I think the most interesting thing I've learnt about sustainability in my career has been, I think net zero in particular has a bit of a PR issue. Like Will was saying, I remember at university studying communications, we were taught, hitting the hip pocket nerve is really powerful because people are concerned about their wallet. And I think learning that net zero and sustainability saves businesses money, but it's such a politicised issue that, public perception of it is that we don't need it, but we do, and it's actually going to save us money and benefit the planet in the future.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Claire. I really appreciate it.
It's all the best.
Thank you. You too.
Words. The name is Jamie. I work for O Media.
Yep.
And I think the most important thing I've learned is the fact that we all are individually responsible to play our part in lowering emissions.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you.
My name is Chris Leet. I'm from the Toll Group, Australia's leading logistics and supply chain solutions company. The thing I've learned about sustainability is it's essentially a data problem. It's a data problem. You can solve it once you understand the metrics of your business. And if you can focus on good forensic data collection, sustainability will be the easier part.
And is that a lot easier now with AI and so on? Does that make it easier? Or?
Yeah, I think using AI, you can certainly turn massive data sources or data sets into quick insights. But there's nothing quite like a human eye to spot things that are either not true or incorrect, and versus things that are actually maybe a hidden opportunity.
Terrific.
So my name is Brent Craig. I work for RACV, and the most important thing that I've learned so far is, appreciation that change is a much bigger player in the whole energy transition occurring at the moment, and being comfortable with that.
Yep. So do you want to elaborate a bit on that? Like what sort of change?
So accounting for change is probably aligns with more the flexibility to approach that transition.
Yep.
And really appreciating that in any business modeling or forecasting, you need to account for the actuality that won't actually eventuate in such a very short period of time, 3 to 5 years.
Yep.
Could change, and having a master plan to account for that change.
Terrific.
Really helps.
Okay, there. Thanks for your time.
My name is Juliana, and I work for this company called B Lab Australia and Aotearoa New Zealand. The most important thing that I've learned about sustainability is the word holistic sustainability. So if you're being sustainable, who are you being sustainable for? So it's so important to factor in all aspects of sustainability. So you've got the environmental aspect, you've got the social aspect, you've got the governance aspect. So we want to be sustainable for everyone.
Terrific. Yeah, it's important, isn't it, to cover all those bases. Now tell me a bit more about B Lab.
Awesome. So B Lab is the not-for-profit organization behind the B Corp movement. And so B Corps are businesses which are verified for meeting environmental, social and governance standards. We've got about close to 800 B Corps in Australia and Aotearoa, New Zealand, and about 10,000 B Corps globally. So I want to say we are pretty popular now, and the movement is growing.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a quick question? Can I interrupt?
Ask me any question you like.
Okay, I'm with a podcast called Track Changes, and I'm asking people 3 quick questions.
Yes.
First name,
Yep.
company you work for,
Yep.
and what's the most important thing you've learned in your sustainability career so far?
Okay. Sure.
So first two are really easy. Third one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good.
Off you go.
Can do that. Yep. So I'm Josh. I'm from GECA, otherwise known as Good Environmental Choice Australia.
Yeah.
And the most important thing I've learned in my sustainability journey is that transparency is absolutely key. Because if we have transparency of data, then we can trust it, then we really know where we're making progress and where we're not.
Yeah.
And it helps us to truly identify what are the opportunities we can use to get better in this space. And without that transparency, it's all really hard.
Now here's a bit of a different segment. I've known Mark Williamson for many years. Mark now works as a climate and nature advisor to sustainability consultancy Anthesis. But before that, he worked for many years as a senior executive in Australia's clean energy regulator. The Clean Energy Regulator, or CER, as many people call it, administers some of Australia's most important climate and environment programs. And so I wanted to ask Mark for his advice to regulators, businesses and households that want to move faster to a cleaner, greener, better world. And this is what he told me. I'm going to ask you to give some words of advice, Mark. So let's start with regulatory agencies.
At the Clean Energy Regulator, I loved our cultural statement that we had when I was there, which is and it came from our chair, David Parker, to be practical, grounded, quick and commercially savvy. And I think they're critical things for a regulator, including that commercially savvy. I think one of the challenges is to make sure that with the various levels of government we have, that there's an integration of policy, and I'll be talking about this in the circular economy panel potentially. You know, for example, on biomethane, we are so far behind Europe. It's chalk and cheese. But the only way we're going to catch up to harvest biomethane from waste to reduce gas consumption as part of the transition is there has to be integration of policy at all levels of government. Commonwealth, state and local government. Moving on to business, I do love Matt Bell, the Anthesis CEO's view of you can't have and we heard this in one of the sessions this morning on the panel from other people, you can't have sustainability as something separate. It has to be integrated into your business. So again, if we use the oil crisis at the moment, those businesses who have rooftop solar, medium-sized businesses with rooftop solar and batteries, and who have switched to EVs off the back of support from the Commonwealth Government on EVs, they've insulated themselves. We look back to when the war in Ukraine started, and again electricity prices went up. Those with rooftop solar and batteries had insulated themselves. So you have to be prepared for all sorts of shocks, and you have to make sure that the decisions you're making, that in the rooftop solar and battery one and EVs is the best example of where it integrates both the financial aspects, which are critical for companies, and brings in the environmental and sustainability aspects. So integrate sustainability in your thinking, because there are risks in being just dependent on fossil fuels, whether it's fossil fuels in the grid or fossil fuels into your vehicles. For households, clearly if you do have rooftop available, there are frequently out there zero interest loans you can get where you can actually pay off your new rooftop solar and battery system. So I would encourage anyone with rooftop available to look into the business case and look into the genuine zero interest rate loans you can get from some companies to install it. Get your quotes. So also, if you're going to be doing these things, get your 3 quotes. Don't get sucked into the first offer or the door-to-door salespeople, but do it. If you can, you will find that it'll be a great business case, and you will pay the system off in probably about 5 years.
Terrific. Okay, Mark Williamson, thanks very much.
Great to see you again, Murray.
And now back to some more Vox Pops. Okay, so here we are back on the conference floor, and if I could ask you both 3 questions. First question, your name. Second question, the organisation you work for and what it does. Third question, what's the most important thing you've learnt about sustainability in your career so far?
Okay, the first one's easy. I'm Angela Riley, and I work with Smartest Energy Australia, and we're an energy retailer and supplier to large commercial and industrial customers in Australia, owned by Marubeni. So we've been in Australia for 5 years, and we've been in the UK and America for 25 years. So the third question, the biggest thing I've learnt about sustainability. I've been in the industry over 20 years. And I think the biggest thing is that as there's multiple paths to decarbonisation and sustainability, and not everyone's moving at the same pace, as well as businesses needing to decarbonise, they also need to manage their risks and do it in a way that means that they'll still be a viable business at the end of it. And the solutions that are available now compared to just 5 years ago are vastly different. Data is important, and working with trusted partners is important.
Well, I'm just going to say Angela has set a high bar there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. My name's Kat Mitchell. I'm Head of Operations for Smartest Energy, who's a retailer focused on renewable energy solutions for commercial and industrial customers. And I would say one of the biggest things that I've learned about sustainability is that it's really important to get your why right first. When you're going into that conversation with either a retailer or any other part of your supply chain, to be able to understand why you're trying to do something and what it is you're trying to do allows you to have better conversations about what the solutions could be, rather than going in with a fixed mindset on this is what I want my solution to be. Think about the why and the underlying information so that you can explore things that you may not have been aware of before.
So can you just maybe make that a bit less abstract for me? So what are some of the answers to that question of why that a business might have?
Yeah, sure. So if say you've got a large customer and they said, we want to be 100% renewable energy, but they haven't explored what is the driver for that. Is that because they have shareholders that have set that target for them, or their customers have an expectation? Or it may even be like internal from their employees, that this is one of the things that attracts them to the customer, that they've set these goals. So understanding that is a first step to, is it the price component? Is it the ability to have that? Is it data? Is it being able to adhere to an external third-party emissions reporting, something like that?
That's terrific. Thank you both very much.
I work with Green Fleet, so we're a not-for-profit charity. We've been around since 1997, and we grow forests all across Australia. So we have over 580 forests that we've grown since 1997, and we work with our partners because we want to make sure in this space we want to be having engaging relationships, not just like tick box exercises. In regards to like the sustainability space, I think one of my biggest lessons is that probably should have started many years ago. In every front, whether it's like reducing your emissions or planting a tree, we should have started ages ago, but the next best time to start is now if you're not there. So, and I think the other big thing I would have learned is partnerships and not being afraid to ask other organizations and like-minded organizations for help, because everybody has similar challenges, and I think kind of together is how you kind of move forward, really.
Okay. All right. Well, don't tell anybody else, but you've given the best answer to question 3 so far.
Oh, fantastic. That's great.
Okay, so it's Brett Giddings. I work for Tasman Environmental Markets, commonly known as TEM. And the thing that I've learned that's probably most important is you have to make it easy and understandable.
So expand on that a bit for me. Like, why is that the case, and how should people do it? I mean, I really like that answer. This is why I'm asking you to sort of develop on it.
Climate change and like most environmental topics can be abstract and non-tangible. So like the way that we do this at TEM is we have basically pathways to accessing projects that improve nature or protect nature. So we've created marketplace solutions where people can tap into those, and it doesn't matter where they are in a knowledge base.
Do you mind if I ask you a quick question? I'm with a podcast called Track Changes, and I'm asking people 3 quick questions. First name, organisation you work for, and a bit about what it does. And what's the most important thing you've learned about sustainability so far in your career?
Name, company, and what I've learned over my career. That's big. So Christina, I'm currently working for LJ Services. As far as the biggest thing I've learned about sustainability in my career, there's a lot to pick from. The importance of, I would suggest, leadership, genuine advocacy from the top, and the mechanism for data transparency within the business to better inform and understand honest discussions about the outcomes we're talking about when we look at sustainability.
Okay, because I've had somebody else talked about data. Tell me about the leadership angle though.
Without having leadership support in an organisation, it's extremely difficult to be able to make significant changes, to be able to get it up. That's ultimately the challenge. And by having leadership support and walking the talk, not just kind of lip service, I guess, for the organisation to understand the importance of that and of sustainability in the organisation, and it could be different aspects, obviously, environmental, social, being different lenses on it, but that's super important. But also the embedding of it in the organisation, because sometimes I've seen leaders who are advocates and they will support particular initiatives, but once they leave, it disappears from the company.
Yeah.
So more about leaders advocating and encouraging embedding it in the organisation.
Yeah.
And being able to have a mechanism to understand how it's going with the targets in place. How do we improve this? And not just about, taking into account both the quantification and the qualification.
Yep. Wonderful. Okay, that's a great answer. Thanks very much.
You're welcome.
And finally, we're going to hear a bit of edited audio from a speech by Matt Kean, who is chair of the Climate Change Authority and was formerly Treasurer of New South Wales. You can find the full speech on the authority's website.
Now, most of us here don't need a refresher course on climate change. We know that heat-trapping gases in our atmosphere are rising each and every year. We know our planet warmed by about 1/3 of a degree in the years since 2014. That's about twice the pace of previous decades. And weather agencies are bracing for an El Nino event forming in the Pacific in the coming months. And it might be a super El Nino event and not in a good way. Australia, with our variable rainfall and exposure to heat waves, is particularly exposed amongst developed nations to a hotter world. Still, I want to say this here today. We have much cause for optimism. After all, Australia has amazing renewable energy resources above and a proverbial periodic table of minerals beneath our floods. We owe it to our entrepreneurial spirits and our survival lines that we triumphed in this transition off fossil fuels. And it's a transition that's very much in our national and international interests. Ladies and gentlemen, we often hear the future is what we make. I think today we need to go and get on with the making. And in doing something, we can hand our planet to our kids better than we found it. But do so in a way that leaves families and households right across the nation better off. That's the chance. I'm working together with you in the room. Let's go and grab it together. We can do well by doing good. Let's do it. Thank you.
That's it for this special episode from Sustainability Business Live. It's time for me to take off my lanyard and head home. Thanks to Craig, Blandina, and the team at Sterling Media for organising and hosting the event. I hope you enjoyed this bonus episode of Track Changes, and if you did, please follow the podcast for more climate and sustainability feature episodes. And check out our associate podcast, Earthed, which gives you a weekly update of climate, nature, and sustainability news from around Australia. Bye for now.